Hello, hello, hello. I am Axel Cannon, and this is Stupid Game Experiments. It's time to wrap up another week with an absolutely fabulous hashtag Follow Friday devlog. For those of you who don't know, hashtag Follow Friday is a thing that happens on Fridays on Twitter where people recommend other accounts to follow. I stole that idea and brought it over to YouTube, and now I make videos sharing other YouTube game devs I find each week. I have a pretty long list of YouTube game devs that I've been collecting as I find new people on YouTube and Twitter. However, this week I decided to implement a freshness rule. I only included people that have uploaded a devlog in the last week. I'm not saying some of you have been slacking over the summer, but I thought I'd throw a little love at some fresh content. So with that in mind, let's see what fresh new devlogs I found this week. So this first YouTuber doesn't actually do devlogs, but I decided to feature him anyway because he's supporting all you indie game devs out there, and I figured we should show him some support in return. Uncle Indie does Let's Plays of the indie games he finds on itch.io, and he has a playlist of the best of them called the itch.io Vault. I found out about him when he tweeted out asking if there were any indie games he should know about, so I sent him a list. Specifically this list of all the YouTube game devs I've featured in these hashtag Follow Friday videos. You can find a link to that list down in the description, as well as links to Uncle Indie's YouTube channel and his Twitter profile, Uncle Indie. Getting back to the indie devlogs, first up is Eyeseemint Dev. He's been working on an RPG inspired by Mega Man Battle Network for 2 years now, but he just started uploading devlogs a couple of weeks ago. His commitment to the game really comes through in the polished look of the game and how he talks about building a modular combat system he designed to make it easier to add new abilities. He just started uploading devlogs because he is looking to get more feedback as he develops the game. So go give him a comment on his YouTube channel, Eyeseemint Dev, and follow him on Twitter at SasagiCode. Next up is Momentime, who is creating a Metroidvania action game with some friends called Torch Game. While that's not exactly the most clever name for a game, he more than makes up for it in his devlogs. He does an awesome job of turning the bugs he runs into and the challenges he faces into funny clips in his videos. He also does an excellent job of using audio in his devlogs to make them even funnier, which is something I really have to get better at. As for the game, the thing I like best about it is his use of lighting effects to really give the enemies some extra pop. Go check it out for yourself on his YouTube channel, Momentime, and follow him on Twitter at Momentime3D. Coming up next, we have Leon Stansfield, who swears he's actually going to finish the new game he just started. It's going to be a retro RPG with a pirate theme, and he's convinced that the key to his success is going to be keeping the game design simple, or being Elon Musk. One of those two will probably work. In a design choice after my own heart, he's using a 2-bit color scheme and 16 by 16 pixel sprites in order to reduce the complexity and time spent making animations. He's only been developing the game for 2 weeks, but I think he's done a great job of using the simple art style to create an interesting looking game. Help him stay motivated to keep working on it by heading over to his YouTube channel, Leon Stansfield, and follow him on Twitter at LeonStansfield0. Next, we slide on over to KotieDev, who is creating an idle farming game with a unique twist. The crops you grow are living vegetables that come to life and help you grow more crops. You'll notice that he put smiley faces on all these living crops just to reassure you that these totally aren't slave labor. I wonder if we should get these together with Rob Lang's Fire Sprites and start an NPC union. That might be a funny premise for a game, actually. Anyway, I'm really interested in the idle game genre, and he talks about wanting to make an idle game that's more interactive, which is something I've thought about too. To see his own unique twists on the genre, you should head on over to his YouTube channel, KotieDev, and follow him on Twitter at BenNilson97. Our next dev's channel is called Earth to Ryan, and this is kind of an interesting story. As you may know, I recently started the hashtag 100 Days of Game Dev Challenge over on Twitter. And I've made a case for YouTube devs making devlogs about the challenge because they show up on this hashtag 100 Days of Game Dev page on YouTube. I won't go into detail about all of that here, but you can check out this video I made previously to learn more about it. Anyway, I was checking out the hashtag 100 Days of Game Dev Challenge page on YouTube and saw this video. I was instantly curious, but I was expecting kind of a jokey video about failing to stick with it. That's totally not what this video is. However, I do recommend checking it out. On the one hand, I think Ryan put too much pressure on what he needed to accomplish every day for the challenge. I've done the video every day thing, and I totally understand how challenging it can be to try and come up with creative ideas for both your video and work on your game. On the other hand, I completely agree with his sentiment of figuring out what works for you and doing that. In either case, it is definitely worth checking out the video and his YouTube channel, Earth to Ryan, and even though he's not doing the hashtag 100 Days of Game Dev Challenge, you can still follow him over on Twitter at GooberDev. Our final game dev for this week is going to be Xanderwood. This guy is crazy busy. He's making a game called Orion's Throne, which is a retro-style RPG. He also makes tutorials and does Let's Plays of other indie developers' games. And he also just hosted his own game jam called the Xander Jam. In his latest devlog of Orion's Throne, he talks about making a weapons vending machine. I have to be honest, I totally want a weapons vending machine now. Except, trying to find a quarter to buy more ammo would probably be really annoying. Anyway, putting munitions fantasies aside, there's a ton of great content over on his YouTube channel, Xanderwood, and you can follow him over on Twitter at gamedev_Alex. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is all I had time for this week. I hope everyone has had an amazing week of game deving. If you've been hard at work, let me know down in the comments what you've accomplished this week. If you need a little extra motivation, you can also join us in our hashtag 100 Days of Game Dev Challenge over on Twitter. There's not a set starting date, so you can feel free to jump in on day one right now. Also, here on YouTube, we're slowly taking over the hashtag 100 Days of Game Dev page, so go ahead and create your own hashtag 100 Days of Game Dev devlogs here as well. Of course, there are plenty of other great YouTube game devs out there that I just didn't have time to get to this week. Also, I'm starting the Epic Mega Jam next week, so it may be a few weeks before I'm able to upload another one of these hashtag Follow Friday videos. You can help pick up my slack by joining in on hashtag Follow Friday and hashtag Game Dev on either YouTube, Twitter, or both. I will, of course, put links to all the awesome channels I featured in this video down in the description, as well as a link to this GitHub page that lists all of the game devs I've highlighted so far. While you're down there, take a moment to show your support for these hashtag Follow Friday videos by hitting that like button. You should also take the opportunity to subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on these weekly game dev highlights. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.